Hey there, lovely people, and welcome to Messages from the Heart, where we can take some time out from the constant external noise and just take a moment to focus inward and really listen to the quiet and ever-present voice of our heart. So before we start, big shout out to everyone in the world and hope that you are doing okay wherever you are. So much love and many blessings and peace and joy to all of us. So the message for today is the video game of life and how to navigate that. So some of us may have heard that we're just in like this earth life is just like a video game. And I've given this some thought. And the more I think about it, the more I think it's an excellent analogy, and perhaps that's what is actually happening in a manner of speaking. Not that anybody is controlling us or anything like that, and having said that, I've never actually played a video game in my life, but I have grandchildren, and I listen to them and I've watched them, and so I've got a bit of an idea. And so with the video game, you have a game that you choose to play, but you are not the player in that game. You are the person who directs the play. So with the controls and the handsets that you've got, you control the play, but you choose what game you're going to play. And within that game, there are many levels. And so you try and better yourself each time. Now, that's one thing that you can do. Or when you're playing the video game, you can just play it because you want to play it. You're not really getting any better. And you can do that for a while, but pretty soon that becomes a bit boring. And then you think, okay, so what can I do? How can I change this up? And so you think of ways that you can improve your skills. So if we apply that to life, it is like our soul, our higher self, the deeper part of us, our inner wisdom, whatever you would like to call it, our higher consciousness. We have chosen to be in this life experience, and within this life experience, there are many games, which means there are many experiences that we can have, and there are many ways that we can get to various, to each goal that we want. And so we need to develop skills, and we need to grow, and we need to learn as to how we want to have those experiences, what it is that we want to experience from these games that we play. Now, this game could be related to perhaps relationships, how we navigate our relationships. So understanding that there is more to us than this human body, that we have a deeper knowing, we all have a heart push. I call it a heart push, but an inner knowing that's connected to our heart and our gut that tells us what's okay for us to do, what's in our best interest, what's not. Take the left road, don't take the right road today. We all have this inner knowing. Some people call it the voice in their head, or it can be the voice of your heart, your feelings. We feel when something is okay and when something is not. So if we understand that part of us is directing our life, or it can direct our life if we allow it to. I think mostly it's always there in the background, but we need to be able to listen to it. So if we can perhaps liken the video game analogy to our heart, our soul, our higher consciousness, inner wisdom, whatever you might like to call it, is perhaps showing us these opportunities in life. And we can take relationships, for example. So you can reach this level of attainment in the way you navigate your relationships for yourself and for others. Or it can be in a career, like you can take this level, you can take this direction in how you can navigate various levels of your career. And those levels can be, first of all, developing your own skills, but then you might think, how can I be of service to others? So then you develop skills in that way. And as with the video game, perhaps we're not always going to win, or we're not always going to get what we want from the game. So what happens with that, we become most of us become inspired to think about, how can I improve, how can I do better with this. I'm sick of losing all the time, so just using that word loosely. Sick of not hitting my target, of losing this game, or of not getting to where I want to be. And so perhaps you might take a bit of a break, you might have a bit of a think about things, and then go back to the game refreshed and renewed, and then you find that, yes, you're going ahead really well. So the point of me, this video game analogy, is to show us that, first of all, to bring to our awareness and to remind us, because I'm pretty sure we all know this, but just to remind us that there is much more to us than this physical body. And at the very least, we all know the voice of our heart. So if we take the time to listen to that and allow that to guide us, our life goes way, way, way more smoothly, and we become more skilled and more wise in how to navigate our life. And with that comes empowerment, huge empowerment. And with that also, there is a conscious awareness that we are the ones directing our life. So there's not a separation between, like, our physical body is also made up of energy. So, and everything is energy. So it's not like we have our body and then we have that. It all lives within each other, like our spiritual self, our energetic self, our heart, our soul self, and our physical personality self. We all live within each other, and we're all interdependent and interrelated. So what affects one affects all of it. But just to bring to our awareness and to remind us that we are very powerful. And if we could just relax and listen to the voice of our heart and just say, what would be the best course of action for me today? What would be my next best step today? And then just allow and listen, and you may not hear. Obviously, you won't hear in terms of, well, you may hear in terms of physical hearing, in so far as someone might say something to you which triggers an idea or inspires you, or you might get certain feelings or a certain sort of thought that pushes you in a particular direction. So I offer all this to you for your consideration, and just show a way, and to give an analogy of how we are indeed the creators of we are creators in our own creations, really. And we are, because we create with every thought that we think. Every thought we think now determines the next thought, that the next minute. Like every minute that we think a thought creates our following minute and our following minute, and what we do one day affects the following day. So we're creating all of the time, and we're actually choosing all of the time, whether we are aware of that or not. But if we could choose consciously and say, how can I navigate this life experience a bit better, and perhaps just, not that there's no right or wrong about anything, but there may be areas of your life that you're not as happy as you would like to be, or they're not as going as well as you would like it to go. And maybe just think that, just embody the fact that you are your the voice of your heart, for example, and just ask and allow something to come to you, an answer to come to you, and then you can play the video game with more skill, more wisdom, and much more empowerment. So I hope that this has made sense for you. It's probably a little bit weirder than I usually talk about, but I thought it was a really good analogy, and you can sort of, play with it in your own head, and understand that it's not that you are controlling a situation with the handsets. You are navigating. It's your navigation tool. So your handset could be like, the mind and the heart working together. So from what I see with my grandchildren, like the left and right hands have to know what they're all doing so that they all work together in getting the game to go the way they want. So you could perhaps think of your handset, or your control, for want of a better word, system, as being your heart and your mind working in coherence, working in harmony. And so therefore, when you settle into that space, and then your next move within the game, and whatever area of the game that is, whatever game you choose, whatever level that you are with, then you feel that you, well, not just feel, but you are the one directing that. And therefore life is not just happening to you. It is happening through you. It is happening with you and for you, but definitely through you. And when we are aware of that, then a lot more shows up in life for us, and life moves more easily. But even just having that awareness is extremely empowering, and it opens us up to more of who we are and who we can be, which we're already amazing, but we can be way, way more amazing and be of greater service to ourselves and others once we understand some things like that. Well, I hope that this has made sense for you. You have enjoyed it and it hasn't seemed too weird for you. As always, let's love ourselves enough to do this. Ciao for now, and much love.